Good morning, students. I am Kamal Nath. I welcome you all in your class of English. Student, we are learning an interesting story that is My Unknown Friend. You remember very well. I started chapter 9, My Unknown Friend, and I explained you the beginning part, middle part, and today I am going to detail the last part of the story, that is the concluding part. And I am sure the last part that I explained you in the first video session, second video session, and I explained you in the classes, you must have understood. At the same time, you must have enjoyed as well, because it's a humorous story. As you know, Stephen Leacock, as I had already introduced the writer, he is a humorous writer, Canadian humorist. You can see the put of very good sense of humor in all his stories, short stories, novels, and he throws light how a person is trapped in different kinds of foolish activities. So let us see how he is here trapped in this story, and he explains he is making responsible himself about this foolishness. What happened, that I will explain you in the last. So let us see. As you know very well, in the beginning part and the middle part, that he is facing a stranger who came into the compartment. He was sitting alone there, and he introduced himself as he was very familiar to him. He knew him since long, but he met him like the speaker was a long lost friend, and he was very excited. He was very happy to see him. He made several questions. He asked several questions about his childhood. He referred many places, many names, and the author, on the contrary, is quite bewildered, very amazed who the person is, because he is not able to understand who he is. He has already mentioned in the chapter his shortcomings, his weaknesses, that he is usually not remembering the people's face, names, and he forgets soon the appearance of the people. This is what here shortcomings. So he accepts that, and he is trying to stress on his memory who the person is, who is referring to the places, people's name, and about the events and incidents of his life. So you remember very well, in the second part you had already enjoyed, that when the discussion was going on about different events, about different friends, about different places, at last the stranger looked out of the window of the train, and the moment he saw outside, he was agitated. He was quite agitated. He now told the speaker, the author, that he had done a mistake. While engaging himself in the discussion, he had forgotten that he had to step down, he had to go out of the train to the last station. And he forgot. He had reached to the next station, that was a junction. So he is now quite just disgusted, quite angry, and he is agitated. So the expression on his face shows that he has done a great mistake. He has come to the next station. He had to get out, he had to step down to the last station only. So let us now see what happens. The stranger who was in the train now tried to open the suitcase, the very expensive suitcase he had carried with him in the beginning. In the first part we had learned, he had a suitcase, and that was very expensive, and he tried his best to open it. So let us see here the content that is in the last part of the passage. That is here, all that here, 2 pages you have here, the 2 pages, and that is 95 or 96. So what is on that page is all that containing. Let us see. The stranger tried opening the lock. As I have already told you, he needed some money. When he was going to outside the compartment, perhaps he needed some money. So to the porter, or he had to really buy the ticket to return back to the station he had left. So the stranger tried opening the lock of the suitcase with a bunch of keys. And the writer thought that he might not get down and may continue to plague him. He was afraid that if the person would not get out of the train, then he might continue his journey with him, and he would have to face the problems, different questions, strange questions. He was not aware about the places, about the people, about the questions, but he was trying to muddle the situation so that he could really just lead the situation in his own favor. So let us see what happened here next. Henceforth, the writer offered some money from his pocket, saying not to bother about the law. The writer, the speaker, wanted to get rid of the stranger. He wanted that he should now leave him. And that's why he took some money from his pocket and offered him, telling him that he should not bother about the law. He was giving him money. The money he was going to take out, he needed to take out from the suitcase. Saying thanks, he grabbed the roll of money out of the writer's hand and sprang from the train. Immediately he took the money. He grabbed, in fact, the money. The roll of money, it was not little money, a roll of money. Indeed, in fact, the writer, the speaker offered that money so that he could pick up some money. He could take some money from that roll of money, as much he needed at that moment especially. But the stranger grabbed all the money, roll of money that was in the hand of the speaker, of the writer, and sprang from the train. Immediate, just he sprang. Here the sprang tell us that he just was in a so hurry. He quickly left the train. The writer noticed two things. What two other things he noticed? He saw the man walking slowly on the platform. When the stranger get out of the train, then he started walking very slowly on the platform and thought that he may have missed the connecting train to take him back to his station. The author, the speaker, thought that the stranger might have forgotten or have really just missed the train he had to take to go to that station, last station he had missed. So let us see now. He saw the expensive suitcase near him and presumes the suitcase that the stranger had carried in the compartment. In the beginning we have read already that was very expensive suitcase that was lying near him, and presumes, he thought that the stranger had forgotten to take it in a hurry. What happened next? There is a twist, very interesting twist in the story. What is the twist in the story? Let us see. A well-dressed man, the person looking for his lost suitcase, came into the compartment and felt happy to get it back. Another person who came in the compartment, who was very well dressed, very gentleman here, looking gentleman, and that person was looking for his lost suitcase. That was another person. Came into the compartment and was very happy to see the suitcase lying there, to get the suitcase back. That means the suitcase that was there, the expensive suitcase the stranger had bought, didn't belong to that stranger. The person who was well dressed came in the compartment and he was happy to see that suitcase, to get it back. The writer realized his mistakes and blamed himself for being foolish enough to let himself be cheated by a stranger by playing along with him. And now he realized his follies, his mistake, that the stranger who had come, he just cheated him, presenting himself very familiar to him. He cheated him and took that roll of money. The suitcase that he had carried was of another person who came in the compartment and was very happy to recognize the suitcase. So at that moment he found how he had been cheated by the stranger who came in the compartment. So this was an interesting story indeed that he has presented. He has no doubt entertained us. You must have now felt it. Whole discussion from beginning to end, conversation, coming in the compartment to express his delight, his happiness to see the speaker and to engage in conversation with him, asking several questions, referring several places, people. He now just has left the compartment, and even he very dramatically expressed his problem that he was not able to open the lock. He was offered the money, he grabbed that, left the compartment, leaving the suitcase there. So the expensive suitcase he carried in the compartment, and he presented himself like that. This all was a drama. And this, like here, story you can enjoy several of this writer Stephen Leacock. So now let us see some here questions, my dear, that is here still here left in your exercise, understanding the text of the book. So let us see here. Fourth question is here. Pardon me, I said and wide at my own stupidity. What stupidity is he referring to, and why could it be stupid? This is the question from your book exercise. Pardon me, I said and wide at my own stupidity. The speaker is telling what stupidity is referring to and why could it be stupid. He is referring to his statement. He used smoking. He used the word smoking for his grandmother. He is telling about that stupidity. He blamed himself to be stupid as he was asked several questions about the grandmother, his grandmother, by the stranger. He showered a lot of questions. How really his grandmother could smoke. So there were several questions asked to him, and he was now trapped in a new trouble. He overcame the situation with a new trick. Of course, he told she was not in the habit to smoke, but she was just inhale just a smoke only who were smoking nearby her. That was what the habit. So he just overcame the situation. Let us see now next question, that is fifth question. What's that fifth question? His face was agitated. We have already read in the story. His face was agitated. Why was the stranger's face agitated? What was the speaker's reaction to the stranger's problem? The stranger's face was agitated because he had to get down from the train to last station only. But he had missed that station and reached to next junction. The speaker feared that the stranger would not get off the train and he would have to face more questions and critical situation with the stranger. So that was what here speaker's fear. So let us see now the next question, 6.1. Does the writer blame himself for his loss? Why? And what was the loss? The writer thought that he was skilled and intellect enough to handle any such situation, but he was cheated well by the stranger. So the writer makes himself responsible for the loss of his roll of money. That was what the loss. He lost the roll of money he had taken out from his pocket, and the stranger grabbed all the money, all the roll of money he had offered. So this was what here. The exercise, and no doubt these were the questions. You have several questions that I will discuss you in the class, online class, and I am sure that you must be learning, you must be entertaining yourself through the story. So thank you, student, joining the class and enjoying the story. Thank you very